All right, let's dive right in. In the world of online poker today, it feels like we're watching a title fight. In one corner, you've got the reigning champ, desktop poker, the OG platform that basically built this whole world. And in the other corner, you have the lightning fast, up and coming contender, mobile poker. And trust me, this is about way more than just what device you're using. It's about how you approach the game itself. See, when you really get down to it, this isn't just a tack to beat. It's a clash of philosophies. What do you value more? Is it the convenience, the absolute freedom to fire up a game, wherever you are? Or is it all about control, that deep, focused environment you need to grind out those serious sessions? The answer to that question pretty much tells you everything you need to know. And this really gets to the heart of how poker fits into your life, right? Are you the kind of player who loves squeezing in a few quick, exciting hands while you're waiting in line for coffee? Or is poker something you set time aside for? A dedicated, multi-hour grind where you're just completely laser-focused at your desk? Now, to really understand this showdown, we've got to rewind the clock a little bit. We need to look at the incredible story of how mobile poker went from being, well, kind of a fun little distraction to a genuine professional-grade rival to the desktop giant. I mean, just look at this timeline. Back in the early 2000s, it wasn't even a competition. Desktop was online poker, period. But then, fast forward to the late 2010s, and you can see mobile started making some serious moves. The apps got smoother, the phones got more powerful, and now, here in 2025, it's not a question anymore. It is a straight-up, head-to-head rivalry for the crown.
So, what lit the fuse on this mobile revolution? Well, it was really a perfect storm of tech breakthroughs. First, 5G rolled out and pretty much killed lag, giving us that instant, super smooth connection we needed. Then, the graphics chips in our phones got ridiculously powerful, enough to handle amazing visuals. And finally, the app developers totally nailed responsive design, so the game looks and feels great no matter what size screen you're on.
Okay, so we've talked about the tech, but what does all this actually feel like when you're in a hand? How does the playing experience itself compare? This is where you really start to see the big differences between the two.
This table lays it out perfectly. On the one hand, mobile gives you that unbelievable portability with super intuitive touch controls. But desktop? Well, desktop is all about raw power. That giant screen isn't just for show. It's absolutely crucial if you want to play multiple tables at once. And for those critical moments, you just can't beat the pinpoint precision of a mouse and keyboard. And what's fascinating is how this creates two different paths into the game. If you're just starting out, mobile is so welcoming. The layouts are simple, they're helpful tutorials, it's not intimidating. But for the pros, oh man, they live and die by the power of the desktop. For them, having access to advanced data tools and stats, that's not a bonus, it's an absolute necessity for grinding out a profit. All right, let's pop the hood for a minute. Beyond just what you see on the screen, what kind of firepower and strategic tools is each platform packing? This is the arsenal that can really give a serious player their winning edge. Let's look at performance, head-to-head. Connection stability? Look, 5G on mobile is fantastic, it really is. But there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that beats a wired-in desktop connection for that rock-solid stability when a massive pot is on the line. And then you have the advanced tools like heads-up displays or HUDs. Desktop fully supports these, giving pros a huge data advantage that mobile just can't match. At least not yet. But hey, don't count mobile out. It's got its own set of secret weapons, all built for a life on the move. You've got things like swipe to fold for making lightning-fast decisions in fast fold games. The whole interface is often designed for easy one-handed play. And, of course, push notifications mean you will never, ever miss the start of that big tournament you registered for. Okay, let's shift gears to something that's absolutely critical no matter what device you're on: security. How do these platforms protect your money, your personal info, and, maybe most importantly, the integrity of the game itself? Let's take a look. So, each platform has its own unique dangers you gotta watch out for. With mobile, the biggest risk is hopping on public Wi-Fi. You could be vulnerable to what's called a man-in-the-middle attack, where someone could essentially spy on your connection. On desktop, the danger is a little different. It usually comes from downloading sketchy third-party tools that might have malware hiding inside. The main lesson here? You gotta be smart and careful on both. Now, the good news is that the anti-cheating tech we have now is more advanced than ever. The platforms are using artificial intelligence to analyze playing patterns in real time to spot bots or collusion. Biometric logins, like your fingerprint or Face ID, help prevent people from sharing accounts. And things like geofencing make sure that people are only playing from places where it's actually legal. It's pretty sophisticated stuff. So after all that, we are right back where we started, at the big question. Which one of these powerhouses is the right champion for your specific playing style? Let's start with the casual player. This is someone who, just loves the game for the fun of it. They enjoy the thrill, and they want to be able to jump into a game whenever the mood strikes, without a big commitment. For this kind of player, mobile is a no-brainer. It's almost always the clear winner. The portability is just unbeatable. You can play on your commute, on your lunch break, wherever. The touch controls are perfect for jumping in and out of quick games, and fun features like AI-powered tips and daily challenges keep things exciting without ever feeling like a chore. But what if poker isn't just a hobby for you? What if it's a serious, strategic grind where your goal is to maximize your edge and, let's be honest, your profit? Let's talk about the pro. For the serious pro, desktop still wears the crown. It's not even close. The ability to smoothly run 4, 8, even more tables at once on a big screen is absolutely non-negotiable. Access to that deep tracking software gives them critical insights, and that super stable wired connection, it's essential when one disconnects during a high-stakes game could be completely disastrous. But you know what? It doesn't have to be an either-or decision. There's a third type of player that's becoming more and more common, and that's the hybrid strategist, the player who wants to have the best of both worlds. This hybrid approach gives you the ultimate flexibility. Think about it. You can start a big Sunday tournament on your desktop where you've got all your tools and you can multi-table. But then, if you need to run out, you can just pick it right up on your phone and keep playing. Since your account is synced across both, you get the power of the desktop and the freedom of mobile. It's the perfect combo. So, where does all this leave us? I think the big takeaway here is that this rivalry is closer than it has ever been. The technology is just moving so fast that the gap between them is shrinking every single day. Mobile isn't just for casuals anymore. It is becoming a real powerhouse in its own right. And that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question. For decades, desktop has worn the crown in online poker. But now, in a world of blazing fast 5G, powerful AI, and phones that are basically supercomputers, is the reign of the desktop champion finally coming to an end? The battle for 2025 is definitely on.
Start a live chat now to join one of our clubs or ask us any questions. Message at BluffingMonkeys24_7 on Telegram or visit bluffingmonkeys.com and start a live chat.